There's a place where blood and nightmares exist. A place where its residents feed off the blood. They live off the blood. They feed on the blood. But do not fear the old blood because of nightmares and aliens and stuff. Why are we talking about Bloodborne? Because clearly, Yarnum is England. Am I wrong? I've never been. It always looks like this, right? I only have mass media to rely me information. The iPhone? Oh. You are at my side. Oh, it's not? Oh, you are at my side. Then it's all Shaun of the Dead, right?
You got red on you.
We're headed to Pro Wrestling Eve, a British independent women's wrestling professional organization run by married couple Dan and Emily Reed, who wanted to provide positive female role models for their daughter, as well as combine their love for punk rock and grassroots do-it-yourself feminism. Fuck yeah! Every single British women's wrestler worth their grain and salt wrestled here, including AEW Women's Champion Jamie Hayter. Their current champion is Miyu Yamashita. That's how you know they are serious. This is a great company, but back in 2019, a shining star traveled across the fog into the strange land of blood and horror. Apparently, all British people are like this, and Arisa is not prepared for British people to run at her like... I'm kidding, of course. England is not Bloodborne. It's also not Shaun of the Dead. It's Monty Python.
Bigger stickers? Silence! What is all this insolence?
I'm kidding. It's clearly a Guy Ritchie movie.
And if you've got no money on you now, you'll be crying tears as big as October cabbages. Bacon Kozlowski.
Clearly. Why is he doing American propaganda now? Remember when he was married to Madonna? Jeez. Arisa Hoshiki entered the land of Pro Wrestling Eve to face Roxxy at Wrestle Queendom 2. Roxxy, also known as Little Miss Roxxy, and not to be confused with Roxy Laveau, who did this whole voodoo thing. She's known as the Angel of the North, which sounds like Game of Thrones. That's all I know about her. But according to the Doral Knight, the Doral says Roxxy is fast and agile and can put on a good show against any type of opponent. The Doral has spoken, people. Roxxy is a god. Little Miss Roxxy comes from a pole dancing and fire breathing background. Her motto is I bend, I do not break. I'm sorry. Chicken brain here. But Roxanne, can you take a kick to the head? Arisa will find out. Roxxy out, and already the British fans are as loud as I expect them to be. Side note, British followers of mine, if I have any, y'all are my favorite crowd. Modern crowd stole everything from y'all, but do you have any idea how comical it is that a bunch of British dudes who are probably drinking are listening to a J-pop song from one Arisa Hoshiki? Immediately, the crowd starts singing to Roxxy, and Arisa confused like, British guys, what are you doing? They are doing the thing they did when Bailey was at her peak. Zing! Safe to say, this is the loudest crowd of Arisa's career. I mean, they're British. I was very much watching Progress Wrestling around this time. I love the aesthetic British wrestling brings. And this was when everything was mat-based. I don't know if it still is, but this is just technical wrestling, yo, technical wrestling. Which makes sense. Neither of these two women have wrestled each other. Even if Arisa tries to bring the fight, Roxxy are like... Wow, that's a very unique move. But she doesn't stay on her, and now Arisa kicking her around, stomping on the ground to get the crowd riled up because it doesn't take much at all for you blokes. Roxxy with some aggression, but Arisa just showcasing all her best stuff. So Rox tries some cute technical work, but doesn't quite work out for her, allowing Arisa to punish her. The mat work isn't working for Roxxy, so let's try fighting Arisa with fun combos. But Arisa like... precision as usual. Arisa with the power slam into the powerful scream up top, but Roxxy stops her and stomps on her. Roxxy on a fence now, tying up Arisa in a pretzel to make her tap out, but Arisa's long legs able to save her. Rox makes the mistake of running to the ropes, allowing a shining impact and another, but Roxxy kicks out. Arisa back at it, but caught in a scorpion kick and a sunset into the turnbuckle. But Arisa was too far and luckily missed her head completely. I never liked those spots. Glad it didn't work out. But not that Arisa cared for her head. And then the question mark kick kills Little Miss Roxxy for the victory. Arisa Hoshiki with her second defense in the land of Pro Wrestling Eve against the punk rock submissions of Little Miss Roxxy. Not a very fluid match, but Arisa had to overcome a different style to retain her belt on foreign ground. And Arisa smiling like always at the result. But her next test will be against someone who hardly smiles ever. Someone who despises Arisa and immediately went for her. The Wild Heart Hazuki, Oedo Tai's resident cool, quiet badass. And it's a banger. Next time on Arisa Hoshiki and the Curse of the White Belt.